When there's an injustice against you or someone you love or someone you believe in, stand up. Don't sit down on them, if they need you.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet's Pop Culture Justice. I am here, Andy Signor, and I'm so happy to be back with my friend Steph the Alter Nerd, and it's Kim. Hello, ladies. Welcome to the show. Who's ready for another episode of Pop Culture Justice?
Me. I am.
Yay! What's up? I see you guys in the chat. What's up? Astriel B and Sarah Cagle, all my members at Leaf Lover Liz, Candy's Life of Crime and Culture, Rando from Iowa, Lynn Lee, Kimberly in Japan. Oh my God, I see all you beautiful members. Brittany Good, what's up? Riley L. Cash, I see everybody in there. Pixie Boo, some non-members too. Maybe you'll consider joining today. Either way, I appreciate all your lovely words and faces being in the chat, and thanks for watching another day as we break down the news for you only the way we do, which is just have a little fun, try to be as honest as possible, and make it very clear when we're speculating. And today we are doing some speculation. We are talking about some salacious alleged affairs and things, but yeah, a lot of you asked me to go down this rabbit hole. We've talked about it a little bit before, but I thought, all right, today we've hit the VMAs hard, guys. It's time to move on to some other topics. And even this morning, I did call out Whitney because, man, I did not like what Whitney was saying out there because she's not a good, credible witness. But I wanted to take some time to talk about this new Florence Pugh edition. Pugh. It's Pugh. Pugh. Florence Pugh's addition to this Olivia Wilde, Harry Styles, Shia LaBeouf controversy that people in Hollywood are discussing. And a source last night revealed that there is more to why Florence is not promoting the film Don't Worry, Darling. So I want to break down the thoughts. I want to hear the panelists' thoughts and all your thoughts, as well as Chris Rock is now under the microscope himself for making a comparison to what happened to him when Will Smith. And we'll talk about that too. Are people overreacting? Is Chris Rock in the wrong? That's right. We got another. They said what? Do you hear that? I hope so. I don't. They said what?
I don't either.
Chris Rock said what? Let me know if you heard that. I hope you did, because I didn't hear it on my headphones. But hopefully it went through. If it didn't, I won't play it again later when we get to that portion. But yes, we're bringing a They Said What here about Chris Rock and lots more, including your comments and questions. If you hit that, I see just now, Dom's Mom 725. Thank you for being the first chat of the day. I appreciate that little fist bump from the pear guy. It's nice. I saw it. So thank you for your support. Heard it. Good. All right. You guys did hear it. So we'll get there when we get there. All right. But Kim, Steph, you ready to talk about some more Olivia Wilde? You ready to get wild over this Olivia Wilde story? Let's do it, huh?
Woo. Let's go.
All right. So Puck News is like a Hollywood Insight, and they're pretty good at getting scoops, I must admit. They do have good insider scoops. This guy, Matt, what's his name? Bellania. How do you say that, Steph? Bellioni?
Matthew Baloney.
Baloney. He is not full of baloney, in my opinion. He doesn't always have the right takes. I don't like his takes on things sometimes. Like he was a little anti-Johnny, to be honest, to put it all out there. However, his sources are usually pretty good. He is hearing from a lot of people in town, and Puck News is like something you pay for and subscribe. He left, I think, Hollywood Reporter or something. Anyway, he's got the sources. So when he's out there, they're trying to get some more, I think, headlines around the globe. And he is reporting this. And so it's a little bit better than, The Sun or People. This is coming from a legit Hollywood insider who has tons of it, agents and managers and people on there. So just keep that with you as we go through this. But in this paid for piece, which I did I did go read it. I did it on my phone stupidly. You get one free article and I refuse to buy it. If anybody has a subscription to Puck, let me know if they want to share. Come hit me up. I always hate paying for these paid for news sites. I'm like, the news should be out there for free. Anyway, so he reported on this. And what was interesting, as he says in the beginning, self-inflicted wounds are always the most fascinating to analyze, right? I thought of what a few veteran PR people texted me this week after how Olivia Wilde, an exciting new filmmaker and recently the subject of a fierce bidding war, had suddenly turned the press for her own movie into a snake pit of tabloid headlines and social media bile. Google Don't Worry Darling right now. Actually don't. It's depressing. Tons of media attention, sure. And who knows, maybe the noise will generate huge looky-loo turnout on September 23rd. Nonstop headlines, good or bad, whatever, might actually be what it takes to break through these days. But the frenzy has almost nothing to do with the actual movie or its very famous pop star Harry Styles' performance. And it certainly has nothing to do with Wilde as a talented director, thanks in mild part to Wilde's own comment. Now, I took screenshots. We can go read the rest, but he goes on and just makes a point of saying, like, you know, this could either be genius on her part or will be her demise. Like, it all really depends how this film does. And so there's a lot of not fans of Olivia out on Twitter and Harry Styles fans who think she's using him, who are all now creating this campaign to, like, you know, boycott the movie, don't go see the movie. I kind of want to see the movie, I'll be honest. It looks fascinating. And I like Florence Pugh and I love Chris Pine. And I want to see if Harry Styles can act, but I really just don't like Olivia. I'm still learning enough to know if it's worthy of boycotting, but I'll let you guys at home make your own decisions. Regardless, though, he's sort of, his point, guys, was like, she's either a genius because she's getting word of mouth, right? And the Harry Styles fans and these people are just going to see the movie, in which case Hollywood won't really care if it's a hit, because that's kind of how Hollywood works. If you're bringing in the dough, you know, and it's just a little salacious, whatever he said, she said, they'll let you keep going, right? If it doesn't work, they're definitely going to look at her differently. She's apparently in talks with Marvel right now. Olivia Wilde is. They're in talks of her directing a secret project with the Kevin Feige, you know, brought her in because, you know, for a period there, Olivia Wilde was really hot stuff. There wasn't a lot of negative backlash around her. She came from Booksmart, which did pretty well. And she was sort of seemingly like the actor's director, new, you know, talent out there. And so it's very interesting that she's putting herself out there this way by, as he said, self-inflicted wounds. Like, why did she put Shia out there again? Why is she commenting about the divorce again? Like, it just seems like really stupid things to comment on when you could easily say no comment. Or, you know, I don't really want to talk about that. Florence Pugh, her actress, has made a point of that. She refuses to, sorry, I have a lot of articles here. I thought I had it. Yeah, she's refusing to do press on this movie, and that's why many of us were speculating she has beef with Olivia Wilde, her director. But the few that she has done, she's really angry because they just want to know what's it like to have sex with Harry Styles. And she's like, yeah, I'm not having that. This is not what the movie's about. That's gross. Like, I'm not engaging with this type of media. And I say good for her. She's being a professional out there about all this. But she did react to the trailer. And when responding to the trailer, she said, here was the quote. Talking about the trailer, which debuted in May, the sex scenes were predictably seized upon. When it's reduced to your sex scenes or to watch the most famous man in the world go down on somebody, it's not why we do it. It's not why I'm in this industry. Obviously, the nature of hiring the most famous pop star in the world, you're going to have conversations like that. That's just not what I'm going to be discussing because this movie is bigger and better than that. And the people who made it are bigger and better than that. So it's hard to not see this now as a shot at Olivia for me. I'm curious. There's more we're going to go through for the source and stuff, but I'm getting to the parts. You can know the backstory. But Kim, Steph, I'll go to you first, Steph. When you see this, you know, at first when I read it, I didn't really think of that way, but and the people who made it are bigger and better than that. Is this her? Do you feel like this is a shot by Florence to sort of warn Olivia, like, stop making this about your boyfriend and Harry Styles? Like, can we focus on the damn movie, which is why we all did this? How you sold me. You're better than that, Olivia. Don't resort to clickbait. Do you get that vibe, or do you think I'm making something out of nothing?
No, I totally get that vibe. I mean, especially where she's now turning around and saying that she's doing pretty much nigh on zero kind of like promotion for the tour, press for the movie, promotion for the movie. I think she's only going to be showing up at one festival for the movie because she's contracted to do that. But apart from that, she's completely distancing herself from this movie. And for her to decide to distance herself from this movie where you do have the biggest pop star in the world, Harry Styles, leading it, at that time, the hottest actor, director, darling, Olivia Wilde, you know, behind the lens, this, that, and the other, you would have thought that they would be like two major reasons why you'd be really proud to be part of this film and do the press and promotion for it. The fact that she doesn't speaks to, I think, her frustration that the movie isn't being promoted and marketed in a way that maybe she was sold on right at the beginning when Olivia reeled her in for it. I think it might speak to her frustrations at maybe, opinion conspiracy theory, whatever, Olivia's unprofessionalism, hooking up with Harry Styles when allegedly she was still married, this, that, and the other. Like, yeah, I think what she said there with what you've just quoted is definitely a shot over the bow towards Olivia for all those reasons and probably a heck of a lot more.
Agreed. Kim, do you disagree?
Not at all. I'm with Steph on this too. I think it is a shot. I think Florence, I agree with the headline that is on this magazine on Bazaar saying the next icon. I think she very well could be. She is an incredible actress, and I honestly think for her, it's like she wanted to be a part of something great. She wanted to support a female director. She wanted to make the movie something amazing and really get into the acting of it and embody the character, and being minimized to just sex scenes. I could see that being incredibly frustrating for her. And it's probably over all of the drama because that's not why she's doing what she's doing. She wants to be an actress. She wants to be a serious actress, and she is. So I sense the frustration. I think she has every right to be.
I'm putting out a poll just because I'm curious. I see it more now, and then I'm going to add, this is making me want to see it less. This is making me want to see it less. I refuse to see it now. Okay, I'm curious what you guys think. There's the poll. Got to start doing more polls, guys. Remind me, let's do more polls throughout the show. It's fun to get you guys interactive as we watch. But what are your thoughts on Don't Worry, Darling? Does all this drama make you want to watch it less, more? Were you intrigued? Were you not? I'm curious where you guys are in this film because it's a little film, but now we're talking about it, right? So is this actually smart on Olivia Wilde to just resort to what if she was out there talking about, oh, the film is such a good portrayal of female sexuality and the drama of blah, blah, blah. No, nobody would be talking about the film. Film lovers would, and some, intellectuals would. But by putting out the salacious Harry Styles of it all and everything else, we're talking about the movie. Will that actually hurt or help, the regular people of the world? I'm curious to see how this goes. So we'll see what happens. Or will all this salaciousness almost make them more interested in that and not the movie? That's where it really can break apart. All right. So that's where we stand. There's Florence. So in the Puck article, I'm going to save that one. This is what was revealed. Okay. Florence this is from multiple sources that the people at Puck spoke to. She, there was tensions, and they came to a head when Florence expressed her displeasure with Olivia's behavior during filming. Pugh, in particular, was angered by the absences. According to these sources, and one source personally witnessed a tense conversation about this issue between the two. The site's reporter, Matthew Baloney, contended in an article published that we just showed you. So this is where he sort of then gets on, and then he moves on to other topics. But the issue, again, was this, and I've now seen this a few other, I'd seen this sort of mentioned, but now it's clear this is what all the sources on the set are sort of saying is what actually happened, that Florence was unhappy because Olivia, the director, was hooking up with its star. And that in itself has pissed off a lot of fans online too, because they're like, well, look, this is Harry's first big movie role, and it's kind of weird that she's, the director's sleeping with him. Like, isn't that a power imbalance? And is that why she put him in the movie to try to, woo him and get him even more interested? There's just a lot of now questions are at it, and it's causing distraction from the movie, which it seems like Florence wasn't into, as well as, the fact that she just wasn't on set, allegedly. She would leave a lot for whatever, rendezvous where allegedly with Harry, and it was starting to really get upset. She was starting to get really upset. And it sounds like Pugh really wanted to focus on the work, right? And the art. And Olivia, who claims to be that way too, is off having the honeymoon phase with, huge pop star. Where things continue to get crazy is obviously now people have been over exaggerating. That's the only real source that I think is fairly, we can say, okay, yeah, there's clearly some legit sources confirming that's where this tension is coming from. That's why Florence hasn't liked it. But I dug a little deeper, and even in this article sort of confirmed it for me, because I forgot. You guys got to remember, Florence was married or dated Zach Braff. You guys remember him from Scrubs?
Yeah.
You guys remember him from Scrubs? Well, Zach Braff, his best friend Bill Lawrence, is the creator of, you guessed it, Ted Lasso. And Zach Braff has directed episodes of Ted Lasso. And so as I did go down and doing this wormhole, the other information that I'm hearing is part of the reason she was so upset was because she knew from, Jason Sudeikis, who plays Ted Lasso, Zach, others, they had heard the information that, yes, Olivia was already with Harry Styles before their official separation. And that's why there's so much contention between their divorce, that there was an affair. Now, again, I have no proof of that. We're speculating here. But when I piece these things together, it's like, oh, yeah, right. I didn't realize Florence and Zach had that connection. And they totally would have talked about that, I'm sure. I'm sure it would have come up or found out later. So it's not like the weirdest connection. You know what I mean, guys? It's not like when I'm like, this is so off far-fetched that I can't buy it. But it adds another layer as to, all right, why is Florence ignoring this promotion? Why is she upset with Olivia? This is another theory that's out there that's been floating around. And as this article sort of confirms as well, yes, she One Direction star was still with the, this is Olivia, Olivia's casting of her real life boyfriend, Harry, who she met on the set, is supposedly raised a few eyebrows. Rumor has it Olivia began a relationship with the One Direction star while she was still in a relationship with then fiance, Ted Lasso creator actor Jason Sudeikis, with whom she shares 2 children. Their affair reportedly made Florence uncomfortable, a Page 6 story reported in July. I can tell you for a fact that seeing Flo with Olivia and Harry, that Flo seeing Olivia and Harry all over each other on set did not go down well, as Olivia was still with Jason when she first hooked up with Harry, the source said. Florence's ex-boyfriend, Zach Braff, who she dated for 3 years, is good friends with Jason. So that's where this comes from earlier this summer. And again, I can't prove it. I don't usually want to get into who's sleeping with who. It is really none of my business. But I'm a huge Ted Lasso fan, and I feel like she's out there trying to massacre the guy for that process serving moment. But the more I've talked to process servers and read about it, Melcher's not the definitive be all on this. I've read several, including the Puck article. I should have pulled the whole article for you guys, but he even admits, like, I've dealt with process servers my whole career, and they do not always ask for permission. Their job is to do it at all, no matter whatever it takes. It's their job to get it to the actor, the person, whatever. And the author at Puck did not believe that Jason Sudeikis did that willfully and spitefully, as Olivia clears the claim. So now that we get all this sort of backstory, I'm curious. I'll go to you first, Kim, this time. Does this raise your eyebrows as well to think, well, maybe there is more to this than we suspected? What are your thoughts?
I think there very well could be. I think Florence's silence and then the things that she does choose to speak volumes and tell us a lot. She's been the one I've been most interested to hear her perspective, because like I said before, I think she really wanted to work on this project and make it amazing and do her job. And it must be incredibly frustrating being on set, trying to do your job, and all of this stuff is going on around you. And it's like, am I the only one here to work, or what? And when it's the frustration of Olivia kind of being involved in this when she's supposed to be the leader of the film and pushing it forward, essentially, it's just odd. I also found it was interesting. I watched that video again of Olivia that she sent to Shia. And in that, she said something to the effect of, like, can you guys work it out? This may be a wake-up call for Florence. It's like, I wonder if Florence was justified in whatever it was she was upset about. It's odd to me. I don't know if that struck anybody else, but just the way that she mentioned Florence and that, I was like, ooh, that's yeah.
Well,
I'm team-
we can, for those that have missed it, here it is again.
Shia. I just went riding my horse, very sweaty, but I wanted to reach out because...
What a humble brag. I just was riding my horse. I'm so sweaty. Ugh, what a life I live. But anyway, back to this conflict.
I feel like I'm not ready to give up on this yet, and I too am heartbroken, and I want to figure this out. And, you know, I think this might be a bit of a wake-up call for Miss Flo, and I want to know if you're open to giving this a shot with me, with us. If she really commits, if she really puts her mind and heart into it at this
If she could, like, what a knock. Like,
Exactly.
if she commits.
point.
Because here's
And if you guys can make peace, and I respect your point of view, I respect hers, but if you guys can do it, what do you think? Is there hope? Is there hope? Will you let me know? Okay, bye.
Go ahead, Kim. Sorry, I just want to finish.
no,
that.
it's fine. It's but I think the big thing here is if we're going to believe Olivia's side of the story, that she fired Shia because he made her uncomfortable, which, I mean, let's be real, with everything that was coming out about Shia and is still coming out about Shia, I don't blame her for being a bit uncomfortable. I don't know if that's something that, you know, she can just like get over. And I don't think that doesn't make her a team player if she's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well said.
So, I'm confused.
I mean, Steph, that's a knock on Miss Flo, correct?
Totally. Because she's literally turning around and saying, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, if she gets her shiz together and actually is a great actress that matches your level of commitment and your skill set on the screen, will you come back pretty please? She's totally, in my opinion, throwing Miss Flo under the bus. And now she's trying to throw, in my opinion, Shia under the bus. Like, who is this lass? Who is she? I'm sorry, but the more and more that come...
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Just as the rant was starting, we froze.
No, stop,
no. All right.
I think
she's
we're all in
definitely froze.
agreement, though. It's like, this is not fair to Florence, in our opinion, based on what we know. You know?
No, agreed. It's not.
Yeah,
and
it's not fair to Florence.
I'm curious if we'll hear from Florence. I don't know if we will, because she's being a pro
Steph, you
about
back?
it.
I think I'm
there we go.
back. Yeah,
All right, sorry, go
about
ahead.
that.
Please rant away, please.
Did it completely cut me off
It
mid-rant?
did. We're just starting
Oh
to
my
get going.
goodness.
We were like, no.
All I'll say then is this, okay? At the end of the day, the more and more that's coming out about Olivia, the more and more it's like, well, hang on a minute. In that video, you just threw Miss Flo under the bus, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Now, in recent times, she's throwing Shia under the bus, but Shia be like, no. I'm not standing for that. Here's some receipts. It's like, she just seems like a backstabbing, two-faced biatch that thinks that she can get away with it, in my opinion. And to quote a famous Miss Kim Kardashian, who knew it was National Snake Day? Oh my goodness. Hiss coming out of Olivia Wilde's gob right now. All to try and freaking sell a movie, to drum up some damn publicity for a stupid film. I wasn't really necessarily interested in the first place, to be fair. We saw a little bit of it at CinemaCon, with like the previews and stuff like that, in terms of what was coming up on the studio's film plate and all that lot. And I was like, yeah, I could take it or leave it. It's
I mean,
one
it
of
looks
those
like
films.
a stylized drama that could be intriguing. Like, it's got a good cast.
I
Steph's
didn't think it
not
was
having it.
exciting enough for me. If there aren't limbs flying all over the place, heads being chopped off, and blood and
Yeah,
guts
it's
and
definitely
gore
not that.
everywhere, generally speaking, it's a no-go for me.
Well, it's just funny because you say it's National Snake Day, and it's just funny because I've seen a lot of you say it, and that is why I'm just paying close attention to this, because she does remind me of someone, guys. She does remind me of someone, and she is seemingly takes a lot of photos out there with someone else, you know, a pretty narcissist. Now, it's guilty by association, but yes, I do sense signs of Amber there, and I'm just like, yikes. Another super pretty girl who, you know, full of herself, out there just telling lies to the media and sort of expecting the fame. You know, she hasn't gone that far yet as Amber, but hopefully she will see this as a warning sign and be like, all right, maybe I need to like be better about what I say out there. There's a couple other things I do want to say. Yes, I correct myself. I always do it. Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde were not married. They were engaged.
Yeah.
They were going to be married. There were a few comments that were like, well, they weren't married, so it wasn't cheating. That doesn't make any sense. If they're in a committed relationship and the partner doesn't know, that's cheating, especially with kids and all. It's still cheating whether they're married or not. That was a very weird comment. There's also comments about Shia. Well, Shia is a predator and an addict. Yeah, sure. Addicts can change if they put the work in. I don't like to just sort of completely write someone off just because they're an addict. He is in a trial right now against FKA Twigs, and serious accusations. Not really picking a side on that case until they have their time in court. But I have defended Shia a little in that I've seen some interviews with him recently. What he did with Olivia here, it does seem like he's putting in the work. So I do applaud anybody who actually will put in the work. That said, there's some stuff that, you know, Twigs is alleging that if it's true, it's pretty bad. But he claims some of it's true, a lot of it isn't true, and they will be doing that in a court of law. So I'm just going to, you know, let them go do that before I judge and decide where it is. Because remember, people did that to Johnny. We all have to be careful here and, you know, allow and support due process. And so, while, you know, maybe Shia isn't the best credible person, he dropped the receipts. At the end of the day, good on him for dropping the receipts, because I don't think it would have really gotten any headway if he hadn't actually released this video. Now, what's also interesting is there's a new email. One more email that I wanted to go through. Same source that was leaking, you know, all the other information from prior is now sharing a new email of Olivia's response to Shia at one point that I wanted to read to you. I'm sorry, Shia. I don't know if there's a point in listing all the misunderstandings here. Bottom line is that I'm bummed. I'm bummed you dropped out of my movie. I'm bummed you assumed I was trying to inflate your idea for this video when all I've wanted to do was honor it and help lift it up. That last rehearsal was tough because I did not feel heard, only judged. Despite all this, I would love to move forward and make something beautiful with you guys. I respect you deeply. I like you very much. I want you to trust me, and I want to trust you. If you want to do this, we need to regain that trust. I'm very much here for it. I want to make this authentic and honest. I have no interest in sabotaging its intent. I'm here for you guys as a hand to help shape this with mutual respect and no more drama if you'd like. If not, I'll respectfully bow out. But I very much hope that's not where this lands. So this was again context of what this is. However, upon when he exited, that he quit, a rep for Warner Brothers responded to Looper. LaBeouf exited, don't worry, during pre-production. Reps of the studio did not confirm Variety's stance that Wilde fired the actor, instead offering a different explanation. According to Warner Brothers sources, LaBeouf's separation from Don't Worry Darling was a mutual decision between all parties, as the actor was not getting what Wilde and the rest was not getting with Wilde and the rest of the cast.
Is it gelling?
Oh, sorry, gelling. Thank you.
Gelling.
My light here, it makes it hard to read. The one and only response from a representative for Wilde reads, Olivia has never uttered the words, I fired him, Wilde's rep told Looper. Now, roughly 20 months have passed since the article in Vulture on December 24th, where Wilde is credited with firing her. And in fact, it's also on People magazine. Olivia Wilde fired Shia LaBeouf from Don't Worry Darling. This is from 2020. This was all over the internet as people sort of saying that's what happened. So here it is. Or Wilde created this firing, and as well as citing her no assholes policy, roughly 20 months without a single correction, clarification, retraction, or comment from Wilde until now. This recent clarification from a rep for Wilde came in after Wilde's direct verified email reply to LaBeouf was revealed her alleged confirmation that she believed the decision to fire LaBeouf was hers. You can read more about that in my last report, but since then, Wilde and her team have been curiously silent. Source claims that LaBeouf believes that because of the FK Twigs sexual battery suit, that Wilde changed the narrative of his voluntary departure in retaliation for how her involvement in the production of Love Me Like You Hate Me ended without the inclusion of her ideas, utilizing the situation to elevate herself in the public eye until Wilde makes a statement we wonder the same. So that's what I was making sure. This was in regards to after the departure. they continued to do a music video. And so what I just read you was then her being let go of the music video that she also tried to do with Shia. So it just doesn't sound like someone who's really worried about protecting, the cast, and he's this bad person, because we have all these receipts from Shia to be like, dude, you kept wanting to work with me. Like, if I was this person you keep tainting me as, why were you still working with me and begging to work with me on the other project that I didn't want your involvement on? It's kind of like she couldn't quit him, right? Like, dude, we broke up, like, enough. I tried Olivia a couple times. We just aren't gelling. It's what's going on. And as you read that email that we just read from her, it is kind of weird. It's like, Olivia, move on. What are you doing? She's definitely telling two stories here. And so it's just important to put all that there, because we're still waiting to see how this all plays out. And there is rumors that there's going to be another variety piece that I've been keeping tuned in. As that breaks, we will obviously update you. But do you think, Steph, she's going to address any of this? She kind of seemingly has to, or do you think she'll just sort of, some people are saying, oh, she loves this kind of attention. She wants to create havoc. As long as people are talking about her, good or bad, that's Olivia. That's what sources have been telling, things I've read. I can't confirm or deny, but do you think this is another Amber situation where she just likes to create chaos? Or do you think she might wisely step up here and try to clarify what's actually happening and take some accountability?
Kind of feel like publicly this is the first time that, she has, really caused any chaos publicly. Other than her first movie in House and this movie, I hadn't really heard much from her or of her, if that makes sense. In terms of what she'll do next, she'll try and square the circle. In my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, she'll continue to use all the negative press and negative connotations and thoughts that the public have against Shia LaBeouf against him, whether justified or not, in terms of the negative attention he's got. Who knows whether he's guilty of all the things he's being accused of or not? Have no idea. But she'll use that whole sentiment of Shia LaBeouf being a bad person against him and be like, nah, he's still a bad person. I still had to protect Miss Flo against LaBeouf, this, that, and the other, and just ride that train and ride that train and ride that train. Because the sentiment is still out there in terms of you start off guilty before you're proven innocent. And I think she'll just do that. Kind of similar to what freaking Amber the Turd is doing in a way, if that makes sense. Amber the Turd is still going on this whole narrative of, no, Johnny's still evil, this, that, and the other. I think Olivia will still do the same thing to try and save face. Because if she turns around and she actually admits that she was wrong and that she made a mistake and that she lied or whatever, well, that's the end of her career. For definite. Because then no studio, no production will want to touch with a barge pole.
Yeah.
So she's put herself in a corner. I don't think has any choice but to stick with this narrative against Shia LaBeouf, which is sick. But hey, there's always the internet if you ever want to find out the real truth. Don't freaking rely on mainstream media that much. If anything from the Johnny Depp saga has taught you guys.
Kim, any thoughts?
I think it's difficult because it's like, I understand. I mean, I'm not Team Shia, simply because from what I've seen, I do believe FKA Twigs, and I also look at his history with Sia. So I see a repetitive behavior and a long history of Shia having issues, and I do believe that he needs to be held accountable for his behavior. But just because he did that does not mean he did something else. Just because one thing happened does not equal another, and I feel like he's an easy target. And if that's what's happened here, that's not okay with me. I hope everything can get cleared up, and I hope that we can get back to making movies and not having this type of drama, Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I was trying to sort around to make sure we have all the updated information on this instance, but that's it. The only other update, as Kim was talking about Shia, I did want to mention, not helping Shia's credibility, is the fact that this just came out. I think Casey, said this. Thank you. But I haven't actually seen Honey Boy. I've heard it's good, but it was about sort of his upbringing and his abusive father. And apparently he's now admitted, in that same podcast we played the other day, he admits that he made a lot of it up and wasn't accurate. And he's like, I wrote this narrative, which was just effing nonsense. My dad was so loving to me my whole life. Fractured, sure. Crooked, sure. Wonky, for sure. But never was not loving. He was never not there. He was always there. And I'd done a world press tour about how effed he was as a man. So my dad never hit me. He never spanked me once. And the story that gets painted in Honey Boy is this dude's doing it all the time. So yeah, I mean, look, and just to be clear also, I'm applauding Shia for putting in work. I applaud anybody who's putting in the work. And I saw some in the chat too, like, to all the sober people out there who are doing it one day at a time. Keep at it. Proud of you. You can get through it. A lot of people do get through it. And I applaud you all. I think everybody deserves paths to redemption if they put in the work, right? And I applaud him, seeing him put in the work. Doesn't mean he's, innocent and didn't do things. And let's see what happens in the court of law. And, clearly Shia, I think, would even admit, he is now admitting he has not been the best person. He's made a lot of mistakes and done a lot of shitty things. And, he's got to have to face that accountability. But I'm at least glad to see that he's not, out there still doing it. Seemingly he's, trying to better himself, and whatever that entails, it is what it is. So I'm trying to keep it positive there, but yeah, well, let's wait and see. But I don't want it to seem like I'm 100% Team Shia. I'm Team Shia regarding the Olivia, because I think Olivia did exploit his downfall and, assumptions when these emails and videos sort of prove otherwise. And I don't like that Olivia did that. That's really, really shady to me. As someone who's been down and wrongfully accused and stuff, I saw a lot of people just happily stomping on me for their own gain. And I relate and feel for anybody who has to deal with that. And Olivia should know better. That's just super shady in my mind. But there we have it. That's this first topic. We got lots more. We're going to talk about Chris Rock and so much more, as well as read your comments. I see Lewis is on deck. Oh, here comes Lewis. But I am going to clip it here if you haven't already. Guys, what are you waiting for? Hit that join button. Pick a tier. I'm a member. I'm going to have to set up another members only stream. We got to do one. It's been a little while, but I promise we'll do one. I'll show you more of my studio. I am also going to show you what's on this wall, more detailed. Lots of fun stuff and some more exclusives. I have some time in the morning sometimes where I'm like, I want to talk about this story, but I didn't. I'm going to make sure you guys get more updates. So become a member today. Help join the community. And thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure if you haven't already, subscribe. Even right now, we're not done the show live. But regardless, I want you to pause for a second and subscribe to these three. Well, Lewis, you don't deserve it because you weren't here the whole show. You popped in late. But subscribe to Nerd Report and Lewis. But really make sure you subscribe to Steph the Alter Nerd and It's Kim over on YouTube to see all their amazing content. Well, there you go. I've tried 3 times to end this show. If you missed it, oh my God, you're going to want to become a member. Hit that join button, pick a level, and then watch the replay because it got crazy. Apologies to Kim's parents. But we had some fun, and
Army Hammer showed up.
Lots of more fun you're not going to miss. Chris Rock's story and so much more. So go check out the replay and make sure you support my friends Steph the Alter Nerd, Louis Lecca over at Nerd Report, The Pascal Show, and It's Kim. Go subscribe to them all if you haven't, and we'll be back here live today. Pascal's gonna be on live tonight. Go check him out. But check all these guys out and check us out tomorrow when we're back live here on Popcorn Planet. Enjoy your nights, everybody. Do me a favor, make sure you're subscribed before you go. Hit that button, hit that bell, check that like button out, hit the comments, all those things. They're all important to keep us going. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow here on Popcorn Planet. Deuces!